ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कथा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपातुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, can you see the slide?
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is the last chapter from Nectar of Devotion, which is Prem Bhakti. Under Eastern section, we have to study only up to chapter 19, which is Prem Bhakti. And today we are going to start the very last chapters, 2 classes, and then we are done. But here is the thing, before I start talking about Prema Bhakti, I would like to understand if there is any question from Bhava Bhakti. Anything that anybody did not understand, or if somebody can give a quick summary, that's also okay. Before we talk about Prem Bhakti. Can somebody remember what are the things we have talked about under Bhava Bhakti session?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I can try to give quick. Maybe.
Yeah. I know. Yes. Please try.
Yeah. So Bhava Bhakti is it's where we get pure love for the Krishna. Again, it goes through a process. We started with Samanya Bhakti or Sadhana Bhakti, then Vadi Bhakti, then Raganura Bhakti, and then there is stage further. All the 9, out of 9 stages, once we get into the bhava stages. So there were 2 process. One was through, again, the process I was talking about to get through, and then it was the Krishna mercy. That's another way to get into the bhava bhakti. Krishna or his devotees, his friends, and his associates. That's when you get into a bhava bhakti, which is where one is always next love of Krishna, always in the transcendental, looking for the prema of the Krishna. Again, we taught us. You taught us about what is the offense. If someone does the offense, there are 3 different kind of the stages where someone can get back to the bhava bhakti back, or depending upon the situation and the stage of the offenses. Yes, Prabhu, I was talking about this. Yes. So yeah.
Continue talking.
So yeah, I mean these are So depending upon the offense that one makes. So again, before bhava bhakti, there you also discuss about ratya vilasa or bhava vilasa. That's when it is a kind of ray, sun of ray, then get into the heart of the devotee, and then it start glowing from there. Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your summary. Anybody else would like to say anything that Prabhu did not talk?
The characteristics also, Prabhuji, very nice characteristics. I think you shared. So those ones like how a tolerance should be there, and our perseverance in this process to develop the bhava bhakti, and as well as not wasting the time, and detachment from the material enjoyment, and confidence in this process are Krishna's mercy. Rakshishyati iti visvaso. So we should be having complete faith that Krishna is going to, protect. Yeah, this is the one. And longing for the, for the service, but so that the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also the same, right? Please engage me in your service. That's what our prayer or mode should be. And taste, last we also taste for the chanting. So that is not there personally, but pray to Krishna to develop that taste to get more and more, and attachment to the, discussing the Krishna's qualities and love for Krishna's abode Vrindavan. So these are the nice points to meditate. I think you nicely explained in the last class.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to share anything on Bhava Bhakti? Good. Everything is very good. Anybody has anything that we haven't talked about? I see sometimes 7 devotees, sometimes 5. Maybe there is some internet issue somewhere. Yes. Anybody would like to talk? Okay, Santa Mataji, what did you learn from this chapter? From Bhava Bhakti section, what did we learn? Maybe she's. I think we'll have to turn the camera on. It's better. That way we are not distracting from the discussion. So, anybody has anything to talk about Bhava Bhakti? It's very important, I think.
So one more word you use, Prabhu, the realized knowledge. And that, if I remember, that you emphasize.
Yeah.
It's yes.
Yeah, that's why I have this slide here, because I want somebody to pick up something from this slide and tell that we have missed. So Bhava Bhakti is very advanced stage of devotion, extremely advanced stage of devotion. And at that stage, one is empowered to start understanding the internal potency of Krishna, which is Shandhini, Shamvit, and Haladini. Shamvit, Shandhini, and Haladini. So that's why it's very, very important that when we come to Bhava stage, although we see that Bhav is like a ray of Prema, like sun has millions and billions of rays coming out of it. So one ray of that is Bhav. So at Bhav stage, you would see devotee still has tendency to do aparadh. There might be some tendency to do aparadh, but we should not be underestimating the devotee based upon their propensity to do aparadh. because bhava stage is very, very high stage. It has come after perfection of 7 other stages that is there. And then another very important thing that I want to talk about, which Satyanarayana Prabhu a little bit talked about, aprad, offense we say. So number of year in bhakti does not really guarantee that you can come to bhava stage, or you can come to prema stage, or you can come to nishtaya stage or asakti stage. If the life is offensive, the resultant bhakti can be zero or can be even negative also. That is a very surprising thing for me when I studied Harinam Chintamani, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur is talking about offenses against the holy name. And also some part of that is mentioned in Madhurya Kadamini too, that if devotee is offensive, then maybe many years of devotion may result into zero progress, or may result negative progress. So life of a devotee should be free from all types of offense. And that is why, this slide was shared. The intent behind this knowledge sharing is that even we are at the bhava stage, we should know for sure that we can get backfired. And depending on how grave is our offense, the punishment is that grave. So the question that I have is, are you all surprised to hear that if one's life is offensive, then net bhakti can be zero or negative? Or you think that you knew about it? Sadhujan Prabhu, what do you think about it?
Sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't quite get the question.
So if one is living an offensive life, then even many years of practicing bhakti, the net result of the bhakti may be zero or even negative.
Yes, Prabhuji, I think that is the case. This morning also we were listening to the Prabhupada lecture. So he says that one of the great offenses is our biggest offense is that after chanting and with the strength of chanting, if you are committing the offenses again, then that is not at all good. So and otherwise the Prabhupada was saying, like, suppose if you are chanting and at the same time you are committing the offenses, thinking that you are your sins are your offenses will be nullified, so that is a grave offense. But yes, in this slide itself, even the bhava bhakti stage also, as you are sharing here, so if the grave offense means the bhava bhakti is destroyed, that means we are going negative than the positive.
Wow. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yes. Yes. So aparad is basically kind of date, You make, you work hard, you get your paycheck, but maybe that money you are paying to pay off your debts. And if that's what you are doing, then really you don't have money. You are really not earning. So real benefit will happen only when our life has no offense. Right?
Yeah, Prabhuji. And nectar of instruction also, there should not be atonement. Based, uh, we learned from there. There should not be, uh, on the name of holy name or in name of the any devotees, we do offense. It should not be atonement at all.
Right. So if you do the offense against holy name, then holy name is the Harinam Aparadhe Tare Harinam. If there is offense against holy name, the holy name can forgive. But Vaishnava Aparadhe Nahi Paritran. But if you do aparadha against the Vaishnava, so if you do offense against the holy name will forgive. Okay, by chanting holy name more severely, the offense that one has done can be subsided. But if you do the offense against Vaishnava, nahi paritran, there is no remedy for it. So yes, so that's why we should, if there is one thing that we must do, that is chanting the name of Krishna. And if there is one thing that we never do, is doing aparadha against devotee.
Probably one question, can I ask?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yes, Prabhu.
how one devotee would know someone is in the bhava stage? Yeah, I mean, just curious question. Yes, it's a
No,
self-realized. Yeah.
I didn't understand, Prabhuji. Please repeat. What did you say?
Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please kindly repeat the
No,
question. I didn't
yeah,
catch it.
I was thinking through as a devotee, how I would know for myself. Yes, I would know depending upon my self-realization and the process I'm going through. But for other devotee, how I would know someone is at the bhava stage, or which stage, depending upon the association and activities. I get it.
Yeah, that's a very good question you are asking. Extremely good. Yes. How you know that somebody is in the bhava stage? You would know only when you are advanced. If you are not advanced in Krishna consciousness, then you would not know others' position. That's very good, very critical question. Because sometimes we we don't have due respect for XYZ personality because we think that that person is also like myself, or if I'm offensive, then that person is also offensive. So that's very good point, very good question you are asking. What happens is that when we are not very mature in Krishna consciousness, we are prone to see the material quality of a person. Okay, we are more sheer of material quality than a spiritual quality. And if we ourselves are conditioned, then the more conditioned we are, the more material quality we see to people, because we have no insight. You don't even know what the spiritual quality is. Like somebody is being humble, somebody is being, quiet, soft, kind. You would see from the material perspective, but that's not true. Maybe you're not understanding the position of the other person because you are seeing in your own way. So that's very important point. So that's why the Madhma Adhikari, Kanishta Adhikari, the problem with Kanishta Adhikari is that he or she does not think that anybody is advanced. Kanishta Adhikari would not see anybody advance. Kanishta Adhikari will completely, get bewildered, thinking that everybody is like them. Madhmadhikari has that insight. So Madhmadhikari knows the senior devotee, knows the friend who are parallel, and knows the one who are inferior. And Uttmadhikari sees everybody as a exalted advanced devotee. Okay, so bottom line is that if you want to understand devotional quality of a devotee, then you have to at least come to Madhma platform. A very good question you asked, Prabhu. Thank you for asking that. You at least have to be Madhma, because Madhma, can worship Supreme Personality of Godhead, because Supreme Personality of Godhead is God, Krishna, Supreme Personality. Madhma can honor, respect to senior devotee, knowing that this person has exalted position. Madhma can behave friendly with equal, and Madhma can ignore somebody who is inimical. So you have to come to at least a stage of Madhma to see that distinctions. If you become Uttama, then you would not see any distinction. Then everybody else will be devotee in your views. When you see everybody as a devotee. But for you to at least put them in a different respect category, you have to come to the stage of Madhmadhikari. So advanced devotee can see the advancement of other devotee. Prathmik Bhakta or Prarambhik Bhakta, they cannot. They will think that, oh, this person is ordinary person. Appreciate that asking. Is it clear to everybody?
Prabhuji, this Uttamadhikari, even though he is seeing everybody is equal devotee, because of his humility or higher consciousness,
Uttmadhikari.
Uttamadhikari, but that is his greatness, right, Prabhuji? So even though a neophyte devotee also he sees as a devotee, but he knows that the advancement of the devotees, right?
Uttama.
Uttamadhikari knows the
Yeah.
advancement of the devotees.
So Madhma and up. Yeah. Uttama knows everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Uttama gives advancement. Uttama gives respect to even Kanistha, knowing that this person has some devotional quality. So he respects the devotional quality in every living entity. Whatever quality you have, okay, he can see. Kanishta would not. Or lower tribe than Kanishta would have no idea. So you have to be, that's why you have to be Madhma and up to understand the devotional quality of other devotees.
If I add one material example,
Prabhuji. Please add.
So if you wanted to add the material example, like only an elephant knows what is the power and strength of the a lion, not a rat. Is it something?
Something like that.
Because the strength they know. So yeah.
Yeah, we always say that preaching should be based on need, interest, and concern. Need of the personality, Yes. And I agree with that. Yes.
Because rat would not know, because it is
rat would never even dare to fire with, right.
Lion, because the lion is because you cannot imagine also.
Right. Cannot even imagine how powerful the lion can be.
Yeah.
Yes. So Madhma Adhikari can know the position of others. So that's why we have to always learn to give respect, because we don't know the position of others. Is it good enough, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay.
Thank you.
So anybody has anything before we move into the definition of Prema Bhakti? Okay, so chapter 19, devotional service in pure love of God.
Prabhu, just a point, Prabhu. So yeah, as we discussed about the offenses, definitely we should not do the offenses. But if mistakenly some might happen, right, Prabhu? unknowingly and all. So these means while we are chanting, maybe that devotee is doing the chanting and those things, everything, but mistakenly if some offenses happens, so those will be slowly counteract, or what do you think, Prabhu?
No, so if you have done offense and if you have realized that this was an offense, then you should personally talk to that person. If so, the secret is that if you have made offense to a devotee, you should talk to that devotee. Prabhu, on such and such date, such and such day, I did like that. Did it hurt you? If you are offended, can you please forgive me? You should very clearly say.
So if I
Otherwise,
wanted to say, I should know that you are offended.
yeah.
What I'm saying is some of the things are we never know.
So that's another good question. Good question. Sometimes we don't know, right? Then in that way, act in a very organized way. Act in a very thoughtful way. You know that I don't know. Then don't come to the conclusion. Don't conclude. Say that Prabhu, you have XYZ behavior. You know, um, I don't understand it. Don't make conclusion. Just try to live with it. And these are some of the core teaching that I think we need to talk. And I'm not sure if Bhakti Shastri is giving enough platform to talk that. But as you said, Mataji, as a senior devotee or as a leader of the society, you have to tell people, talk to people, train people, tell them what is right, what is wrong. This is otherwise, if we just assume, it's going to be very dangerous. And that's something that I'm realizing too, as you were saying. So we expect somebody to act in a certain way, and then that person is not acting. We get, internally mad at that person. But that person even doesn't know that why I am mad at that person. Because maybe this person at some point made a mistake which was not aligned with the Shastric teaching, and then I am upset. This is very good point. But that person is innocent. That person, does not know. So how to deal with that situation? I think we have to go and tell. We have to frankly go and Mataji, on such and such state, the behavior that you showed was not good. But then again, if the person does not have faith in your statement, then it will spoil. Then later, it will become fighting. So you'll have to find the right time to communicate. But the bottom line is that have communication. Have communication. Talk. If you don't realize, then the person who has realized should come and tell you, this is not good to do. You should not do it. If you respect, my input, you should not do it. But that's also doesn't work. People, start arguing, start saying that, no, my Guru Maharaj says like that, and I've heard like that. So this is a little complex question or complex to address. But the bottom line is that we should be open to beg the forgiveness. Please forgive me if I have made mistake. Very honestly, please forgive me. Otherwise, we are not serious about our process, our bhakti. Please forgive me, if I have done the mistake. Or if somebody comes, if somebody has made the mistake, then we should be, finding the right time, proper time where that person is ready to hear and say that, please don't do that. This is not good for your devotional service. Although I have forgiven you, but you should not do this type of mistake. So there should be proper communication to make sure that we are not getting into that area where we are assuming things which is not right. Yes. So bhakti, that's why, you will many places see bhakti is called double-edged sword. Have you heard about it? It gives very quick result, very quick result. At the same time, if it's done wrongly, then it can be very, very harmful also. So we have to be very, very careful. That is why it's advised that bhakti should be performed under the guidance of a senior devotee, mentor. Everybody should have mentor. A spiritual master is supposed to be our mentor, but they are so busy. Diksha Guru is supposed to be our mentor. We don't even get time to talk. Then Shiksha Guru. There should be Shiksha Guru, who you can go and ask, Prabhu, this behavior is okay, that behavior is okay. So that person need to be around us. Otherwise, we'll think that we are doing bhakti and we'll keep on doing offense and keep on going down and down and down. So very important that we talk to somebody, have proper communication so that we understand I'm not doing offense. And if somebody has done offense, be ready to forgive. As a Vaishnava, we should be also willing to forgive others. We cannot be unhappy, knowing that my unhappiness is not good for somebody. So yes, and this offensive mentality linger or stays longer, very high stage. But now we are going to talk a stage where devotee has become fully pure. At Prema Bhakti stage, there is no propensity of making offense. So that's the first statement I should make. Since we are talking about the aparad, talking about the offense, Prema Bhakti is such an exalted stage that at that stage, there is no propensity in a devotee to make aparad. Okay? So, chapter 19, devotional service in pure love. Pure love is prem. Pure love of God is prema. But this is still devotional service, which means bhakti that is being done under pure devotion. So we'll see definition of pure bhakti, and then what are the characteristics of prema? How to characterize it? How to know? What are the characters that help you understand that somebody is in prema stage? Some quantification, or quantifiable characters of prema bhakta. And then how to, this is definitely a question, right? How to even come to that stage, and how one even come to that stage, right? So these are some of the discussions we are going to see. So let's first look at the definition of prema bhakti. Shamyak masrinito shwanto mam atvaita. So mam means mine. Okay. Having a feeling mamatva, atishaya ankitaha. Samyak marsinito swanto mamatva atiyasya ankitaha. Bhava saeva sandratma budhe prema nigadyate. So I would like to, go through each and every word. Samyak masrinito shwanto. In bhava stage, heart is soft, but it has not fully softened. An example we gave, something like foamy, it has softness, but if you really press very hard, then there'll be some solid part. It's not fully softened. But at prema stage, one's heart is completely softened. Shwanto, completely softened. And then Mamatva Atishaya. You know what is Atishaya? Atishaya means extreme. Atishaya. Sometimes we say that you are doing too much, right? When we ask somebody, we say, you're doing too much. So Atishaya, too much. What too much? Mamatva, possession. So mothers have lot of possessions over their kids. That's the perfect, example. Mothers, hey, what you are doing? Don't do that. Stop doing it. If you don't stop doing it, I'll come and give you a lap. Only mothers can say or fathers can say. Nobody else can say. So at Prema stage, one's heart is completely soft, and then one develop extreme possession to Krishna. So these are primary, these are tatastha lakshana, these are secondary characters. What happens? That one's heart becomes soft and one has developed possession towards Krishna. Please remember this. I don't know if we'll get the chance to see the definition again. So prema means these two things. Heart has softened completely, and there is enough possession for Krishna. So can somebody tell me what is the meaning of softening of the heart? Know what the softening of the heart? Anybody knows? What is meaning of the softness of heart?
We're showing more compassion, more love.
More compassion, more love. Yes, that's yes, that's one element. What else? What happens when the heart becomes soft?
Humble or humility.
Yeah, humility. Humility, develops. Tremendous humility develops. Yes. So when we are soft, tremendous humility will develop. What else will happen? I want to give you the practical meaning of this softening of the heart. Possession we understand. Mamatva atishaya, we understand that extreme possession will come, which means we feel that the relation, the sambandha that we have started with Krishna, that sambandha has now completely formed. Sambandha vidya prayojana, right? So sambandha we started and we were doing bhakti with sambandha in each stages. But at this stage, our sambandha is completely formed now. Okay, so that part I understand. But what is the meaning of softness?
It's something
Humility
like,
and yes, humility is.
yeah, please go ahead.
No, go ahead, Prabhu. I'm asking you all to share.
Yeah.
What is the meaning of softness?
Is it something like Suhridam Sarvabhutanam? He has become so compassionate.
Yes.
Saying it.
Yes. So one of the things that I would like to emphasize here, softness of the heart means propensity to do aparadh has been completely nullified. Because this offense comes from Hridaya Darbalyam. Okay, when heart is weak, then offense happens. When there is asat trishna, when there is desire for unwanted object, we do offense. When there is so Hridaya Darbalyam, asat trishna, and third one is not sure who is Supreme Personality of Godhead. When we have this doubt, that who is the ultimate controller, right? Or there is no God, atheism, or all of that, type of mindset we have. We do, aparad, we think that how this living entity is soul, all the living entities are just a living entity, they are the body, so we don't have proper understanding of their real identity. Okay, so here the Dorbalyam, Ashat Trishna, and then illusory understanding of the identity of the living entity. These are the things that stage with the living entity. And when these are gone, when the heart is not weak, when the desire is not for asat, something that is temporary, then the heart becomes soft. So softness of heart means that we are not going to chase something that is material. He will chase something which is spiritual. So, but these qualities are called as secondary qualities because they are outcome. They are outcome of being Prema Bhakta. Okay. So what happens as a primary symptoms? What exactly will happen as a main component of change that will take place in one consciousness? It says Bhava Sayeva Sandratma. So remember we talked that in Bhava stage, one will start realizing the internal potency of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at this stage, at Prema stage, it has fully condensed. So whatever we applied, whatever definition we gave for Bhava is applicable for Prema also. But in Prema stage, it is fully condensed, fully intensified. That's why this word Chandratma is being used. This is the perfected stage of Bhava. So we said that Bhava is like a budding stage and Prema is a fully grown up, fully matured stage. So at that Prema stage, Bhava stage has fully matured. So everything Buddha Prema Nigadyate. If one has these symptoms where one is exhibiting the quality of perfection of the Bhava stage, one's heart has become completely pure, and one is showing possession towards Supreme Personality of Godhead, then that stage is called Prema stage. So everything that we have studied in Bhava stage is applicable to Prema stage because Prema is matured, fully intensified state of Bhava. So what happens to those three internal potencies that we talked about? What will happen in the Prema stage? Will it be more revealed or it's going to be less revealed? What's the status of that one?
More
More revealed.
Yes, more revealed. More revealed.
Yes.
More revealed. So in fact, when one comes to the stage of Prema stage, then one does not identify with the body, with the creed, with the gender, with the nationality, with the locality, with the surrounding, with the environment that we are in. Rather, in every situation, we connect with Lord only. And perfect example is our six Goswamis, Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath, Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatt Das Raghunath. When these six Goswamis were on this planet, that was not a very good time. That was the time where Mughal were ruling over Bharatvarsha, and they were forcefully converting Sanatani to their religion. But these six Goswamis or other pure devotees, they were not impacted by it. Because in pure devotion, once one is perfected, one is not identifying with any limited identity that we have. So soul has unlimited identity, infinite identity. Soul is free. Soul has nationality of every nation. That's what I mean to say when I say that it has unlimited quality. But as a body, we have nationality of one or two country. Soul does not. We are captivated. The body has limitation. How walk, how high, you can go, how rapidly you can walk. All of that has limitation. But soul does not. Okay. So Prema Bhakti stage, when we say that one has understood one's internal designation, means one has fully understood that I am a soul. And one is acting on the platform of soul, not on the body. Okay. So this is very high stage, but we just wanted to talk definition wise. What does it mean? What exactly it means by saying that one has achieved the Prema stage? I would like to, understand that if it's clear. Is it clear? What is the Prema stage? So there are Tata Sakti, there is Swarupa Sakti. We have been seeing this again and again. So Tataksha is gone and Swarupa is Mukhya. Mukhya symptom is basically symptoms which is principal, and secondary symptoms are outcomes of the Mukhya symptom. Okay, like for example, Titikshava means tolerant. Karunakaha, become humble. These are humility, truthfulness, cleanliness. These are good qualities, no doubt about it. But these qualities are coming because of devotion, bhakti, right? So bhakti is the main lakshana, mukhya lakshana. Why devotees have so many qualities? Well, they have so many qualities because they are devotee. And other qualities are there too. So those qualities are there in a devotee, right? But it's there because of this principal quality. Okay. So that's how we have to see. So bhakti is the principal quality. So when bhava is fully matured, the maturity of the bhava stage is the principal quality. And when that matures, the heart becomes soft and one develop more possession towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's Tataksh Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana we call it. So I'll make sure that this concept is clear. And then everything that we have studied with Bhava Bhakti, more or less, we are going to see the same thing. So primary symptom and secondary symptom. Primary symptom is that Sandratma. This is Prema is condensed state of power. And secondary symptom, Tatastha Lakshana, is that it completely softens the heart and one become very possessive and shows ownership towards Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gopis, Gopis have this. Mirabai says, Mere to Girdhar Gopal, those type of things. Being very possessive. Right now, we are very possessive of our wealth, name, fame, glory, power, prestige, right? But when that turns into being very possessive about Krishna, then that is Prema stage. Okay, so can somebody read this slide? What is Mamatva possessiveness? Ananya Mamata Vishnu. I would like somebody to read it.
Ananya Mamata Vishnu Mamata Prema
Sangata
Bhakti iti uchate
Chate Vishnu.
Parlado Bhava Narada. Translation. When one develops an unflinching sense of ownership or possessiveness in relation to Lord Vishnu, or in the other words, when one thinks Vishnu and no one else to be the only object of love, such an awakening is called bhakti, devotion, by exalted persons like Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, and Narada.
Yeah. So there are some examples given here. Now, when one develops an unflinching sense of ownership for possessiveness in relation to Lord Vishnu, or in other words, when one thinks Vishnu and no one else to be the only object of love. So this is no one else except Lord to be the object of love. That's why this word is being used here, Sandratma. What is the meaning of Sandratma? It's very, it's very, very focused. Have you seen that magnifying glass? I don't know. In India, they use that magnifying glass, and you can basically burn fire in wood or paper using that magnifying glass. So what you have to do is that, keep a piece of paper like this, and then put the magnifying glass in front of sun, right? And sun points the glass at one point very intensely. Sun picks up the glass and points at one place so intensely that it will catch fire. That's Sandranand. It's basically magnifying. It's taking the energy from Krishna, from Supreme Lord, and it's magnifying and focusing at one point. So that's the concept we are talking about. When one thinks Vishnu and no one else to be the only object of love, such an awakening is called bhakti, which are exalted by persons, which are exhibited by exalted persons like Bhishma, Prahlad, Uddhav, and Narad. So these are some of the examples of the devotee who showed a strong possession towards Supreme Lord. And how is that possession? It's like magnified, Sandratma, fully condensed. Okay, so if we are not in that stage, then what is the object of our love? Can you tell me what are the object of our love, devotees? What are the object of our love?
Material.
Yeah, material, me, mine, hamameti. Social duty, charity, this work, that work. There are so many distractions, right? There are so many responsibility that you and I have right now. When we become Prema Bhakta, then and it's not artificial, it's not imitation. It just becomes the nature of the living entity. Okay. So before we move to the next slide, anything before we adjourn class today? I would like to adjourn sharply at 12 o'clock. So I would like to see if there is any questions anybody has about any philosophy, any concept that we talked.
Yeah,
And then
thank
next
you.
week, I think we can wrap it up. Yes.
This verse you shared is very nice verse, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. It's worth to be meditated, this verse. So one quick question, Prabhuji.
This is Pariyojana, right?
Yeah.
You're right. This is Pariyojana.
So yeah, Anya Vilashita Shunya, when it comes, then it is completely related.
Yeah. So this is Pariyojana. This is the goal of what we are doing.
Yeah.
Coming to that stage. Yes, Prabhu.
So yeah, this bhava is it's very related to this verse. And one quick question is, in Bhagavad Gita we have the words, right? Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Ka Vihasya
Brahmane Gavahasni. Yeah.
Niteva
Sunicheva
Sapande.
Supakesha Pandita Samadarsan. Yes, Prabhu.
So is that verse is applicable and in this stage, Prabhu, or is it lower stage, or is it across? Is there any relation you can form like that? The person who is there in that stage, he sees all are equal vision. So is it? Can we apply this to the bhava stage or lower stages, something like that? Can we relate anything in that verse?
So is that verse spoken for Prema Bhakta? That's you are talking.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
That verse is basically, that particular verse is spoken in 5th chapter, where Krishna is not fully 529, I think, right? That's the verse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this verse is not exactly talking of Ananya Bhakti. Okay. This verse is talking that one can come to that stage by even Ashtanga Yoga process or by other yogic process. This is the path of elevation. One has to come to this stage, right? But right now, what we are talking about here is that coming to that stage is just having sufficient knowledge, vidya, and humility. One will have respect. So this is definitely higher stage, but not higher than what we are seeing at the Prema Bhakta. So you have heard the term Guna Bhuta Bhakti, Pradhana Bhuta Bhakti, and Ananya Bhakta, Kevalya Bhakta. So Pradhani Bhukta Bhakti stage, when there is one is prominently engaged in devotional service, one may come to that stage where one will see no distinction between oneself and other living entity. But the stage that we are talking about is the stage where one has now come to the perfection of devotional service just by he has that Anna Vilasita, that Vidya Vinaya Sampane, but he is even beyond that. Because now at this stage, he is formally convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And his object of love is only Supreme Lord. Okay, so it's not like that he does not have that quality, but he has superseded that quality.
Is much higher than that quality.
Much higher.
Much higher
Yeah,
than that.
much higher. Because having compassion for all the living entity, there are other people too who might not be bhakta, devotee, and they have compassion. There are many people who are vegetarian, There are many people who show compassion for the living entity. So that verse is very much on the platform of compassion. He advanced so much that he has, compassion for living entity. But this one is talking that he has become perfect bhakta. Okay, Prabhu. So it's not slightly, but much higher. Much higher, including the quality that is mentioned there.
This is a kind of superset, you can say. It's a subset.
Superset, yes. Superset, yes. It has superseded that quality. But that doesn't mean that Uttam Bhakta or Prema Bhakta does not have that Vidya Vinaya Sampanna quality. But he has gone beyond. A Vidya Vinaya Sampanna person might not have quality that Ekale Ishwara Krishna, Arasava Bharya. He might not have that. But this person has all of the quality, plus he knows that Ekala Ishwar is Krishna. So it has superseded. Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. We'll please, and Mataji, keep track of all the attendance. Devotees who are not attending, most likely they won't be able to give the exam. They'll
Yes.
have to join another batch.
Yeah, I'm tracking, Prabhuji. I will send
Thank
in.
you. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vanshkalpataru Vyasa Kripa Sindhu Vyasa. Paritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Nandakoti Vaishnava.